Grand Centers JP, of course, announced a new crossover. That crossover being Overlord. I actually did react to this crossover whenever it got shown off a few days ago. However, I didn't get to find out what the units did. It's always nice to get hype for the crossover. Let's be honest here, ladies and gentlemen. Me, myself, I usually can't get really hype until I know what these units do, because they could be extremely lackluster, super gimmicky, or extremely overpowered. But thankfully, last night, at the time of recording this video, the information for the first two Overlord characters came out. Unfortunately, we have to wait on the man Ainz. Do you guys like Sandstone? Do you like damage resist? You like being able to tank some stuff? I'm pretty sure all of us do, especially in hard content, but there's one problem with those units, right? One huge issue. Half the time, they do no damage. Well, ladies and gentlemen, I present to you Albedo. Albedo is actually a defensive attacker. By the way, all these characters are super awoken, so you will be seeing super arts. Her skill gives her 60 art gauge if she's above 70% HP. Pretty simple. Her art permanently increases damage and damage res for the entire team by 10%, capping out at 30%. Permanently. The damage up is whatever. The damage resist is really good. You got the true art, which buffs up everybody's physical resistance by 20%, and you give everybody a damage barrier that negates 10k damage. And then finally, we have her super art. This increases her own crit rate by 100%, and you increase all allies' damage res by 60%. Multiplier is pretty high on this bad boy too. You see that? 120,000. This isn't everything, ladies and gentlemen. She also has her abilities. We have her unique ability, Benevolent Pure White Devil. When near death, you increase your own arts by 300 and heal all allies' HP by 50%. Elsa's resist 100% up, and also freeze resist 100% up. This girl, on paper, sounds extremely strong, because she's not really like a taunt tank, but she's like, the best way to put it is she's pretty much Favel. This is absolutely insane. Like, you're going to be able to tank so much stuff, and comps revolving around her are going to be pretty interesting. It's like, what type of fights are you just going to be able to bring her and you're going to be fine with it? I can see some very unique stuff coming out with this girl, with nuke comps, with sustained comps. It's cool. I like it a lot. For this to be a dark unit too, it's definitely a change of pace for the dark scene, because most dark characters are just straight damage and that's it. That's enough about Beto. Let's talk about the girl Shalltear. Do you guys remember Jill? You know how Jill could put a copy of herself out and she would deal big deeps back in the day? Ladies and gentlemen, I present to you the new Jill. Shalltear has all magic slots, but she can actually change her last magic slot into a 4-star physical if you want to, which I'm just going to say it. I think that's going to be probably for the best if you do that. So with the skill, she's buffing up her life steal by 3% for 10 seconds. The art decreases enemies' dark resist and light resist by 40%. Her true art increases her own crit damage by 200%, also 90k on the true art. And then her super art. For 80 seconds, you increase your own arts by 5 per second, and you summon a double that mimics all of your own attacks, including arts and skill. As for the ability she has the unique ability, which is Battle Maiden of Fresh Blood. If HP is above 70%, you increase your own crit rate by 100%, 30% damage to enemies below 30% HP, and you increase your own arts by 50 at the start of the quest. If you have Star God Lisa and you got this girl, Jesus Christ. Even if you don't have Star God Lisa, characters like Summer Lisa with her is going to be insane. I guess the only question is now is how fast are her animations, which I'm going to say her animations are probably going to be on the slower side. If I had to think about the balance to an extent, how would they handle this? I feel like they would make it to where her animations aren't that quick. However, you know, you never know. It could be like that. It could be not. We'll have to wait and see. I also like too that she's not really only reliant on her mimic. Unlike Jill was kind of a character that needed her mimic to be out for her to actually deal any type of major damage. But with Shalltear, you don't necessarily need that, because her true art is a 90k multiplier by default that does buff up her own crit damage by 200%. Will she deal more damage if the mimic is out? Absolutely. But you could use her just as a nuker if you wanted to. The only negatives I could see with this girl is that if she has long animations, and the fact that she has no innate art gauge in her kit apart from her super art, which is really good, but I would really like to see some other art gauge, like with the skill or something else. But she does have good slots, so you can kind of counteract that with like actual good equips. And ladies and gentlemen, that's actually it for the first banner the first two Overlord characters. And I'm just gonna say it right now, the first two got some crazy fire powers. Albedo, I think, is still my favorite out of the two. I like Shaltir a lot, but I just like what Albedo's doing a lot more. I think people are gonna be liking Shaltir a lot more though, because all the damage she's able to do. Hey, that's gonna be it for this one, man. Tell me down below what you guys think about all this stuff. Are you guys excited? You guys just whatever with it? Also, if you're gonna be summoning on these banners, I wish you the best of luck to all my JP brethren out there. Hopefully, you're able to get lucky and get something good, but that's gonna be it for this video. Thank you all again for coming out, and last but not least, you guys already know, don't forget to drink water.